What's up, YouTube? My name is The Real Deal 06, aka Steve, and welcome back to my channel. I make videos about my vinyl record collection, and today is going to be a special video. I'm doing my very first ever vinyl tag, and I'm going to be doing DJ Vinyl Vertigo's Soul Tag. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The very first album that I'm going to be showing you is named the most listened to soul album. So first up, I have Donny Hathaway's Everything is Everything. You can see that. And this is an older copy. I believe this is an original pressing of this album. It's kind of beat up, as you can see. And it's on black vinyl, so I won't pull it out. But my favorite songs off of this album are all of them, basically. Voices Inside, Everything is Everything, I Believe to My Soul, Misty, Trying Times, Thank You Master for My Soul, The Ghetto, which was the most popular song by Donny Hathaway, I believe, To Be Young, Gifted and Black. I love his version. I also love every other version of that song, but Donny Hathaway is probably one of my favorite male vocalists ever. Probably one of my favorite musicians ever. So that's Everything is Everything. And that's my original copy. I also have the repress from Vinyl Me Please that came out a few years ago. So there's that one. I'm sorry if the light is bad there, but there's that one. And it's pretty much the same as the original press, but it includes this little book that has some information about the album, and I think it has like a drink recipe, like a cocktail recipe in it. I won't look for it, but anyway, that is Donny Hathaway's Everything is Everything. Next up is the most recent soul record purchase. So this might be a little different for some people. I don't know if you would consider him R&B or soul. I kind of consider him both R&B, soul. But this is PJ Morton's Watch the Sun Live. This just came out not too long ago, but I'm a big fan of PJ Morton. Obviously, if you can go to my page on my channel, you'll see a video collection of all of my PJ Morton records. And some of my favorites off of this album, of course, again, just like with Donny Hathaway, I love all of them. Good Morning featuring Susan Carroll, which I believe he just won a Grammy for the other night. On My Way featuring Kenyon Dixon. My Peace featuring Mr. Talkbox, Be Like Water. This version is featuring Sonny Patterson, but the album version features Stevie Wonder and I believe Nas as well. So Lonely, basically the whole album. I won't go into every song, but PJ Morton, Watch the Sun Live. You can get that now. Go cop that if you haven't. And if you don't know PJ, get into it. All right, number 3 is male soul artists. I tried to pick artists or albums that a lot of people wouldn't have or have not heard about. But this is a gentleman by the name of Donny, not to be confused with Donny Hathaway. Donny with an I-E, not a Y. And this album is called The Colored Section. Basically, he's I don't know that he's recording music anymore. This is his first or debut album that came out in about 2002, 2001, something like that. I have the record in the back, so I can't see exactly. Sorry. But anyway, Donny, The Colored Section, the whole album is great. If you've not heard of Donny before, again, like I said, I'm not sure that he's still recording music, but some songs that you might have heard would be Cloud 9. our new national anthem, which I think was heavily featured on BET for a while. The colored section. So yeah, it's some good stuff on this album. I believe he's an Atlanta artist, or was an Atlanta artist. I'm not sure if he's still recording music, but the guy is very soulful, sort of a social consciousness type of artist, but good melodies, good music, good instrumentation. Donnie, the colored section. Next up is a Stax release, and actually these ladies were originally on the Stax label, but this particular album was released on Columbia. As you can see from the label, it's just a black record, but this is Emotions, Rejoice. I don't have any artists that are actually on Stax or were on Stax. Well, they were on Stax, but I don't have anybody currently that was on Stax, or you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the Emotions, they moved from Stax to other labels, and this album was recorded on the Columbia label. You've heard their voices with Earth, Wind & Fire. I'm sure you know these songs, or some of these songs, and it's just on black vinyl. Best of My Love, Key to My Heart, Love's What's Happening. Let's see, what else? Rejoice, you know that song. Don't Ask My Neighbor. Some of their more popular songs are probably on this album. And I love Emotions. Their voices blend so well. They're all sisters. And I know the group members interchanged over the years. So there's some other sisters that were in the group, or another sister that was in the group that is not featured here on this album, but on other albums that they have. So that's the Emotions, or Emotions, Rejoice. Next up is going to be a soul artist not from America. This one was kind of hard to decide who to feature or who to pick for this, but I went with my first obvious choice, which is Sade. And this is the box set, This Far, and it features all of her albums thus far. And so that includes Diamond Life, Promise, Stronger Than Pride, Lovers Rock, Sade Love Deluxe, and Soldier of Love. And the last thing in the box is a foam insert that has a question mark on it, so maybe we'll get another album one day. We all know how Sade works. Maybe not. It might be another 10 years before we get another album. So that was Sade. It's a lot of songs, a lot of music in those albums. So of course I'm not gonna go through all of that, but that is a soul artist not from America. Next up is gonna be a female soul artist. Now, easily I could have gone with Aretha Franklin because I have quite a bit of her in my collection, but I chose to go a different route, and I picked Tammie Terrell. I also could have used this one for a Motown release, but I felt like she deserved her own shine as an artist first. But anyway, that's Tammie Terrell, Irresistible. A forgotten album, pretty much, that was released on Record Store Day 2 years, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I can't remember. But anyway, it's pressed on a yellow vinyl. And I'll pull it out real quick for you. It's like kind of like a highlighter yellow. So that's Tammie Terrell, Irresistible. Her voice is classic. I mean, it's classic Motown sound. The music is great. Her voice is great. So that's Tammie Terrell, Irresistible. Next up, and I know DJ Vinyl Vertigo mentioned this artist, and again, I just talked about Aretha Franklin, but number 7 is a gospel artist or a gospel album single by a soul artist. Nobody but Aretha Franklin. I couldn't think of anybody but Aretha Franklin. So I have the complete recordings of Amazing Grace. I love this record. I believe it's 4 discs, 3 or 4 discs. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't listened to it in a while, but it's all on black vinyl, and it's in this interesting cover case with an essay about the recording and some pictures from the recording of the album. So pretty cool to have. Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace. The whole album is amazing. Go listen to that. If you don't have it, please go pick that up. I'm pretty sure that's still available somewhere, but it cost me a pretty penny, and I'm glad I got it. Another artist that I want to show his gospel album. It's got various other artists featured on the album as well. Is PJ Morton. Again, one of my favorite artists ever. Gospel according to PJ from the songbook of PJ Morton. And he's also written, gospel songs for other artists that have been released on their albums. So he's not just an artist himself, he's a songwriter, producer, musician, an amazing pianist. So that's PJ Morton, Gospel According to PJ. Next up is going to be a blue-eyed soul artist. I'm pretty sure this counts. I have the Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute. And that's the album, front and back. I did not know this until I did a little bit of research, but Michael Jackson actually is uncredited, but he did background vocals on this album. I don't remember, I believe Minute by Minute is one of the songs, but I can't remember what the other song was that he is featured on background vocals. Kinda, if you strain a little bit, you can hear him. Or maybe that's my mind that made that up, but it is said that he is featured on backing vocals on this record. And so that's the Doobie Brothers. I love Michael McDonald. He has probably one of the most distinct voices ever. But anyway, that's Blue-Eyed Soul, the Doobie Brothers. Next up is a soul artist that more people should be aware of. And I kind of cheated again on this one because this gentleman is actually considered, I think, a jazz artist. But this album is more of a soul R&B type feel to it. And it features other R&B and soul artists on it as well. This is Robert Glasper's Black Radio 3. I love this album. I don't know that I would say that this is my favorite Black Radio, but this Black Radio is really good. I believe he won a Grammy for this when it came out 2 years ago, or last year when it came out. I'm really bad with dates, y'all. Sorry about that. But this is Black Radio 3 by Robert Glasper. And it is actually a really cool pressing. So I will show you that. And it's this purple swirled and gold flake sort of thing going on. And this is actually released from Vinyl Me Please. This is the Vinyl Me Please pressing. And this record is also numbered. And I have number 68 out of 1,000. So that is Black Radio 3, Robert Glasper. Another artist that I feel like people should be more aware of is Emily King. This also could have gone Blue Eyed Soul, I think, but I want to say Emily is from New York, but she's an R&B soul artist who I believe that everybody should know or be aware of. She has amazing music, been making music for a very long time. She has an amazing voice, and it's just the credits and thank yous on the inside. But here is the pressing on brown vinyl. You can see that. That's Emily King. And the name of this album is Special Occasion. She has several, so go check Emily King out. Some of my favorites off of this one are The Way That You Love Me, Special Occasion, of course, the title track of the album, Bad Memory featuring Lucas Nelson, Who Wants My Love, Easy, Closer to the Morning. The whole album, basically, Emily King's Special Occasion. All right, number 10, a soul artist featured on a rock album. So I don't have much rock, so I kind of cheated on this one again. So I'll just show you this one. This is Prince, Nothing Compares to You. And I picked this one because Sinead O'Connor did a cover of this song, or he wrote the song for her. I'm not sure. Historians, don't kill me. I apologize if I don't have the story exactly correct. But Sinead O'Connor, who is a rock artist or a soft rock artist, did a cover of this song. And then, of course, it is Prince's song because he wrote it. So Nothing Compared to You, Nothing Compares to You is a single by Prince that I have. That's the front, and that's the back. And it's just a black 45. Next up is going to be a Motown release. And again, I have a ton of Motown records in my collection. So I'll start with one of my favorite groups from Motown. And this is classic Motown, of course. The Jackson 5, ABC. And this is, again, another Record Store Day purchase. And it's on a blue vinyl. Pretty cool color. And this is the ABC album. The Love You Save, ABC, La La Means I Love You. And those are really the only songs that I know off of this album, but I do love the Jackson 5. And that's the back of the record. So that was classic Motown. This is Motown of my era. And this is Erykah Badu, Mama's Gun. As you can see, I love Vinyl Me Please, so I have quite a few Vinyl Me Please releases in my collection. It took me a while to get this because it was on back order for quite a while. but I'm so happy that I have it. This is Finally Please does a great job with recreating the artwork, the jacket, everything that they include in the record. It comes with this litho of Erica in the car, and then the actual album cover is gold foil stamped. The lettering, it's got gold foil, and it's the back, and it's a gatefold. That's the gatefold. And this one actually is pressed on two different colors. There's a maroon or burgundy color, I'm not sure which, to match the album jacket. And then the second disc is actually yellow, I believe, like a sun yellow. So pretty cool. So that is a more recent Motown release because she was on Motown Records. Some of my favorites: Didn't You Know, My Life, Clever, Kiss Me on My Neck, 82,000, Orange Moon, In Love With You, Bag Lady, of course. The whole album. I love this album. I love Erica. So that's a more recent Motown release by Erykah Badu. Next up is going to be, let's see, what we got next. A soul artist deserving of a box set. I have a few. I could have picked Donny Hathaway. I could have picked Marvin Gaye. But I decided to go with Stevie Wonder. And this one is the Inner Visions album. And I've not seen many people with this. I'm sure people have it, but mine is pressed on a red vinyl. It's a red pressing. If you don't have Stevie Wonder in your collection, I don't know why you're collecting records. Just kidding. But Living for the City, Golden Lady, Higher Ground, Jesus Children of America, Don't You Worry About a Thing, and He's Mr. Know-It-All. Classic. What can you say about Stevie Wonder besides perfection? I mean, he's Stevie Wonder. So that is Inner Visions by Stevie Wonder, and it's a gatefold also. Little concept art there. And so an artist that is deserving of a box set is definitely Mr. Stevie Wonder. All right, the next one is a soul act that I've seen in concert. So this one is another one that is a more newer artist, a newer band or group, and that is Moonchild. And this is the Starfruit album. You should check them out if you've never heard of them. They also feature some great artists on this album. Layla Hathaway is featured on the first track, Tell Him. Alex Isley, Rhapsody is featured on. Tank and the Bangers are featured on this album. For an LA group or a group from California, these people here have a lot of soul, and they do masterful work in creating the music and the sounds that they've captured on this album. It is a gatefold, and it's just the credits on the inside, and that's the back with the track listing. But it is a pretty cool pressing. It's like this pink starfruit swirl, pink and white. So pretty cool pressing. The whole album is amazing. My favorite track off of the album is the one featuring Layla Hathaway. But the entire album is amazing. So that is a soul act that I've seen in concert. I went to their tour that they featured this album, and I'm pretty sure I have video. So maybe I will post that on my channel so you can check out what I saw at the concert. But that is Moonchild, the Starfleet album. Next up is going to be a jazz record by a soul artist. So I have two, and they both are covering the same jazz artist. The first one is Diana Ross. It's actually a movie soundtrack, but it's Diana Ross, Lady Sings the Blues, and I'm not sure if you can see the cover, but because of the sleeve that I have on it, but it's a black record. But this is one of my favorite movies with Diana Ross in the lead role as Billie Holiday, and she does a pretty good job with these songs. It's a departure from the Supremes and her usual solo work for her to sing songs by Billie Holiday, but her acting is what, her acting was superb in this movie, in my opinion. But that is Diana Ross's Lady Sings the Blues. I love this soundtrack. I probably will play this pretty soon because I haven't played it in a while. But that's Lady Sings the Blues by Diana Ross. Another artist that covered Billie Holiday in a film or recreated the role is Andra Day, who did the United States versus Billie Holiday, the music from the motion picture. It's a Lee Daniels film, and I believe it's still on Hulu. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. But this is the back cover of the record, and it's on a gold pressing. And it has a picture of her on the label. So that's the United States versus Billie Holiday, featuring Miss Andra Day. Next up is a soul artist in a group recording and solo recording. So my favorite group from my collection is going to be the Jacksons or the Jackson 5 or whatever incarnation you want to come up with. And my all-time favorite Jacksons album is Destiny. This album goes so hard that it doesn't make any sense, and it gets overlooked quite a bit in terms of Michael Jackson's discography, or the Jacksons' discography, I believe. But Destiny is my favorite Jacksons album, and it's just on black vinyl. And my favorites, of course, Blame It on the Boogie, Things I Do For You, Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, Destiny, All Night Dancing, and That's What You Get for Being Polite. So that's the Jacksons' Destiny. And for solo artists, of course, there's none other than Michael Jackson himself. The biggest selling album of all time is, I know it's not a soul album, it's a pop album, but he's from that group. So that's Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I don't even have to talk about the songs on this album because I believe everybody in the world knows it. But this is the Mobile Fidelity One Step that I purchased. And of course I did a video covering my Michael Jackson collection, including books, CDs, DVDs, and my vinyl. So go check that out if you have not seen it. And that's Michael Jackson, Thriller. Favorite soul song is the next one. My favorite soul song, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. This is the full album, and I don't really have to say too much about this album. He's Marvin Gaye. Everybody should know this album, and if you don't, you've been living under a rock. But What's Going On by Marvin Gaye is my favorite soul song. That's the full album, and I also have a 10-inch single of that album, and this actually has a version of the album featuring BJ the Chicago Kid, as well as a remix version of the song on the B-side. But this is What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. That is my favorite soul song. Next up is a reggae soul artist released. Unfortunately, I don't have very many reggae albums, but I do have Mr. Bob Marley, and that is the only reggae album or artist that I own. I don't really know what else to say about that, but this is a pretty cool pressing. It's the tricolor red, yellow, and green. So I was very happy to get this one. Of course, this is a compilation album of his most known songs, I believe. I love this album. I play it quite often, even though you can tell I haven't opened it all the way. I opened it up and pulled the records out all the time. But that's Bob Marley and the Wailers. All right, next up is gonna be a live and concert soul recording. So I have Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, and it is on a white vinyl. Who doesn't love Maze and Frankie Beverly? My favorite songs off of this album are Joy and Pain, Happy Feelings, Before I Let Go. That's the gatefold. Sorry if there's a glare because of the cover, but that's the live in concert soul recording, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Sorry, got a little tongue tied there. But yeah. Next up is going to be a soul compilation release, and that I have two for. One is the best of Teddy Pendergrass. And it is on a hot pink vinyl. I believe this was a Barnes & Noble exclusive. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure. My favorites: Close the Door, You're My Latest, Greatest Inspiration, Wake Up Everybody, Turn Off the Lights, Do Me, When Somebody Loves You Back, basically the whole thing. I mean, Teddy Pendergrass, another greatest of the great. Like, you can't go wrong with Teddy Pendergrass. Love him. So that's the best of Teddy Pendergrass. Next up is going to be a various artists collection, but it's a tribute to Mr. Curtis Mayfield. And I want to say this was a Record Store Day release as well, a couple of years ago. And it's on a pretty cool pressing. The colors are actually different on each disc, which was kind of strange to me. This one is kind of more grayish, kind of a gray swirl gray and blue swirl, splatter, something, marble. It might come across a little green on the screen. But anyway, that's this one. And then the second one is more, you can see, I guess, the intent for what they were trying to do. It's more like a bluish swirl splatter thing going on there. If you can see it. But that is a tribute to Curtis Mayfield, and it features Tevin Campbell, Eric Clapton, Phil Collins, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, the Isley Brothers, Elton John, The Sounds of Blackness, B.B. King, Gladys Knight, Lenny Kravitz, and so forth and so on. It's some great people on this, and it's a gatefold, and it's just a photo and the credits. And this is the back with a picture of Curtis Mayfield's profile. Some of my favorites are all of them. I love Curtis Mayfield's music. I also have a compilation of his music. I just haven't opened it yet. I used to have a box set, but it ended up getting warped. So I had to replace that at some point. But that is a tribute to Curtis Mayfield. And so that is what I wanted to show for the Soul Vinyl Tag. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I also want to say a special thank you to DJ Vinyl Vertigo for creating the Soul Tag for 2024. This was pretty cool. I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you. And number 20, the last question on the list is your favorite soul channel in the VC. I'm pretty new to the vinyl community as far as creating videos. I've been collecting since 2015, but one of my very favorite channels to visit is Pieces of Vinyl. I think he has an amazing collection as far as soul and funk and other various genres. Like, he listens to a whole lot of music, and his channel is pretty cool. So go check him out. That is Pieces of Vinyl. Pretty cool channel to go check out. And that's it. That's the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, or subscribe. If you have any of this stuff, tell me what your favorite song is from one of these albums. If you've never heard of some of these artists, please do go check them out. They make some great music, especially PJ Morton, Emily King, Robert Glasper, some of the newer artists that I've displayed in my collection. Go check those people out, and be good to each other. Thank you for watching.